what's up everybody? This is angryhippielady, and my sounds need to be turned down. And we've had a Nether reset for some reason. I've talked to Neftis about it, and the ends reset too, which I found out very painfully. So, Neftis dug out a few of these tunnels, and I'm going to be digging out a few also. And, so yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys for a bit while I'm here doing nothing really important and something I have to like really think about. Oh wow, you can tell how long I've been sitting here watching videos. That's all I've been doing, is just watching videos. I can fill that in. Be a nice little thing. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So nothing really, majorly important has happened to me. I've been writing a whole lot, and my book that I'm writing right now is about a apocalyptic world, and oh, okay, my eyes. I had to turn off my fan because I did a test to see how loud it was, and it wasn't too terribly loud, but it was loud enough that I didn't think it was necessary, and now it's so hot that my eyes are watering. Oh, I hate this time of year. I think it's only like 60 degrees outside here. Let me test my window. About 65 degrees. But it feels like it's 100, and I feel like I'm about to die from heat. So yeah, I'm just today. Did I dig this out? I think I did. I think that was already, I don't know. I'm gonna fill it in. That was definitely dug out. But yeah, it's a apocalyptic world where my eyes again can't see. Ashley, who is one of the main characters, along with who's the other main character? John. Sorry, they have real life names too, okay? All the characters are based off of real people in my life, and I have dorky friends who are a lot like me, and we talk about, what would we do in the case of a zombie apocalypse or whatever, and I use those people who I would actually, team up with if something did happen to happen, something like that did happen. And so it's really difficult for me when I'm talking to people about the book, using the character names and not using real life names. Anyway, and then when I use the real life names, it feels wrong, and I feel like I have to call them by their character names, which I've actually started calling one person by their character name when I'm talking to other people. They don't know that. But anyhow, the main characters are myself, Ashley, and I picked Ashley because when I had my first book that I really wanted to publish, I came up with a name for myself instead of using my real name to publish under, because I was like, well, if I do become, if people actually do like my book, I want to be able to still be, who I am today, and not have to worry about, oh, this person's gonna, find my name on the internet and somehow find me and all that. And I just wanted to be, me, not the the person everybody wants to know about. And so I picked Ashley. And funny thing about the name Ashley, my parents were actually going to name me Ashley, which I found out after I picked that. Which is kind of funny. But anyway, I won't tell you her last name, just because, or my chosen last name, just because, you know, if I do actually use that name, then I don't want it to be, like, out in the open too much, you know, that I picked that name. Anyhow, so her, Jack, John, and Alex are a pack, which I use the name pack, the word pack, just because I like how it sounds more. Ooh, I shouldn't have destroyed all that because now I don't know where it goes. My eyes hurt. It's also that time of year where pollen starts, you know, being annoying. And I insist that I am not allergic, but every year this time I have issues. Like a lot of sneezing and teary eyes and all that. And I'm not gonna say I have allergies, but yeah, that's what happens every year. But anyway, they... Ooh, pick broke. Y'all are just gonna have to put up with the fan noise, because even though you can barely hear, because I started sweating and it was terrible. And so yeah, my eyes still hurt though, like a lot. Anyway, I was telling you about my book. So Jack, James, Ashley, and Alex are the four main characters that you are introduced to, you know, from the very beginning. First one you meet is John, and, or, well, other than Ashley, of course, because you know, it's all from Ashley's eyes. But the first one you meet other than her is John, and John and Ashley are thought to be, you know, I tried to depict it as if they were, you know, more than friends. Oh, are you serious? Okay, I was about to say. I made all this stuff, and I brought all this stuff, and I forgot to make picks. And I ran out of wood, even though I, like, have, like, this big, huge tree tower. But I'm too lazy to go and get wood from it. So, yeah, that explains why there's only 5 planks in there. Anyway, and so, you know, from the very get-go, it kind of, I was trying to appeal not only to the typical demographic that would pick up a zombie book, but also or monster book, sorry. The word zombie is never used in the book. There's been a couple times when I was writing a rough draft that I've said the word, but yeah, it's not going to be said. So I tried to add in new elements that are not necessarily expected. I don't know if I'm gonna keep them, just because the whole point of this book for me is to depict a more a realistic kind of view, well, like anybody else's, but my view on what I think should be done, how it should be done, and all that. So not only is it going to be, you know, a fun fiction-y story, it's also going to be more of a, hey, you know, if you have this, it could do this for you. There's one point where I haven't written this down yet, but I have the whole story in my head. There's one point that Ashley is teaching one of the guys, who, Mike, he comes in later, not very far into the book, but he's not like the first character or anything. He was kind of an add-in. He just kind of popped into my head, and he fit well into the group, and so I kept him. But at one point, Ashley kind of takes him under her wing and teaches him what she knows about nature and all that stuff, and how to be a good archer. Because I think archery would be better than, well, not necessarily, you know, altogether better than guns, but just because I've never used a gun, that's my weapon of choice. So that was Ashley's weapon of choice. But anyhow, so yeah, so we meet Mike, you know, a few pages in. He's right there, and he's a very strong male character. Suffered a whole lot, like, well, you know, like the rest of us, and just a great fit. John is, like I said before, the, you know, the cut, or the video cut, the story kind of hints that he could be more to Ashley than what meets the eye of the others, or what the others do see, but never say. It's never said outright, and that that quickly changes, very quickly. It's made very obvious that at a couple points that there is no interest. There might have been at some point, but yeah. Anyhow, so they're just, you know, good friends and all that. And then there's James, who is only there because he had an arsenal when it all started, and that's the only reason why he would be part of the group anyhow. He's the one who, he's the guy that you would worry about going crazy all the time. Trigger happy, yeah, gun happy, toting American. And then there's Alex, who is a bit different. He's very easygoing, and he kind of eases the tension in between James and all the others. He's not especially good at, you know, shooting or hunting or gathering or anything, but he's a good friend, and that's why he's there. He becomes important in the second book, but yeah, for the first book, he's not all that important. He's just good to have, and especially for what is to come. Then there's Mike, who we meet a few pages in, and I already told you about him. So, the whole point of the book is a new tactic, or, you know, what I think would be best to do. So we start out here in North Carolina, where we would start. There's a little bit of a backstory. So I took the sorry. I took the attacks that have happened this past year, the cannibalistic attacks, that people blamed bath salts for, and turned that into something. So pretty much what I did with that is I said that those people were, taken and put away, and we never saw them again. Well, I hadn't done any research on them, so I don't know where they are. But I'm sure they're back out and, society and stuff, or in jail for eating people. Anyhow, I took that and, rolled with that. Because, there are a lot of people like, oh my gosh, zombies, And I was like, yeah, that would actually be a good way to write a book. And so, they had been put away, and everybody thought, oh yeah, they didn't even think about it. It was a big deal. And then that's kind of pushed off to the side for the next part. Then we talk about America, because, well, that's where I live. And America's been in a recession. You can hear the air quotes in my voice. As I say in the book, it's a recession that's more like a depression. And that's actually the exact wording. Anyhow, so America's been in a recession that's more like a depression for years now. And in the year 2012, we had been through a whole lot and all that. And so what I'm going to move all these years to, because I expected to have it done by the end of 2012. I thought this was going to be a quick project, and then it turned into I'm going to continue this project. So, yeah. And how I have it written right now, in the year 2013, America the people of America which this will never happen, band together, and America is reformed. Not necessarily it would have to be a new government in order to reform. Anyhow, politics. But America is reborn in a sense. The economy becomes goes back to the way it used to be, and by the year 2015, sorry, I don't have my timeline in front of me. It's in my book bag. 1 second. So yes, by the year 2015, we become once again the land of milk and honey, which is what America used to be called. It might still be for some people, but I can honestly tell you it's not. So people didn't like that. People outside of America. We were highly envied for being able to prosper so well, and there was a terrorist attack in the year 2017 on November 4th. DC was completely destroyed. There's nothing more than a smoking crater. Congress was in session. The president and vice president were in a meeting, and no one is left. All of our government's gone. We are left to rule ourselves. So, like long ago, brother fights brother, and we are no longer bound one under the flag. We become many. And so, the downfall of America, after rising higher than ever before. Fast forward to the year of 2021. At this point, I would be around the age of 28. That December, I would be turning 29. So it's January. It is January 23rd, to be exact. And, I just got very serious. It's January 23rd, and this is when Mike shows up. It's cold. There's snow on the ground, because we're in the mountains. And he shows up out of nowhere. 24th, the next day, I decide that it's time to go hunting, and since I am the hunter of the group, I pick John, as always, to, ooh, whoa, wow, okay, lag, I'm actually tearing up telling you about my book. That's why I got so serious, because I realized I was very sad. So, John always goes hunting with me, just because it's always good to have a, be in a group. It's never good to go alone. And that's always my policy when it comes to the end times, even if they don't include zombies, which they won't. Anyhow, so, yeah, it's always good to have a buddy, because bad stuff can happen. I'm gonna restart, and then I'll bring you guys back.